Yo, what is going on, guys? Little Flapjack here, and today we're going to be going over a jungle guide for season 10.9. Now, I don't think I've done one of these since the beginning of season 10, so it's been quite a while, and the meta has shifted a lot, and you guys have probably been here before. A lot of you guys have subscribed from those videos, and a lot of you guys may be new. I do these jungle guides every few months to kind of update the meta, and to kind of give the viewers an idea of where new starts might be, what the new items they should be building might be, things like that. I am in a solo game here, so this is not a real game. We're going to be jumping into some of the meta shifts, some of the new items, and then we're going to be jumping into the starts and how your rotation should be on a map. And then finally, we will show itemization, what to buy, when you should buy it, and then we will jump into a full game where I'll kind of just go over where I'm being effective and where I'm not being effective. I'm going to record the first game I play, win or lose, and I'm kind of be going over my thought process, things like that. But other than that, let's jump straight into it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So what's new in SMITE Conquest 10.9? We have a few new items. We have the tikis on the camps, which I'll dive more into right after I talk about these recipes, but the recipes are a big part of these. And they're items you can get for 0 coins at 0 cost, and they start with you at the beginning of the game. It's easy to forget about them because they're not in the popular items as of making this video, which I think will change very soon. But they're kind of based off of class and attacking type. Now, some of these are for support and some of these are for mid and things like that. But overall, if you're using an auto attack based build, which I will show an example of that later on in the video, you'll be using golden gooseberries. If you're using a cooldown based build or ability based build, you will be using bountiful bow or party punch. Now, golden gooseberries kind of works as a golden blade, which gives you like an AoE kind of cleave attack with your auto attacks as you stack it. And stacking it is kind of passive. You just have to kill minions with your auto attacks, which kind of happens throughout the game. Now, bountiful bow gives you a 1.5 second reduced cooldown every 8 seconds on an ability use that's not your ultimate. Now, this kind of stacks passively as well. You have to use mana, and then you have to do damage with your abilities, which happens passively, and after that you will have the item. And party punch is after moving every 100 units, which is not that much in the jungle. You will have your next ability or auto attack will do an extra, I think, 20% damage as well as flat 20. So if you think of 300 damage was 20% plus 20, that's about 60 extra true damage just for moving around the jungle, and there's no timer on that, so you'll just be doing a lot of extra damage moving around. Now, I don't think it's as good as bountiful bow or golden gooseberries, but we're still testing those things out, and I think things will be adjusted as we go on. The tikis, so there's tikis on the camp, which I'll show on the rotation map as well. There's 5 colors, sorry. There's a blue one, there is a red one, there's a yellow one, there is a green one, and there is a purple one. The blue one gives you 10% cooldown, and you just put that with your camp. You'll see how that works kind of in the video I show. The red one gives you lifesteal, yellow one gives you penetration, the purple one gives you attack speed, and the green one gives you health and mana. Now, mostly you will be using the that distracted me. The yellow or the cooldown one, depending on what your build is. But we'll dive more into that in the video I show, and we're going to hop straight into rotations and starts. We're going to be hopping straight into the starts. Now, I do apologize for the map quality on screen. I had to go into like a bots match and kind of pull one because I don't think there's been an official map release, but I didn't want to use an old map and try to make up for what it is. Now, to start, the most basic start that you'll see most junglers doing is when you leave spawn, you go to this yellow camp here, and once you have the yellow camp, you will meet your jungler at the red, and you will clear the red with them. Your mid usually pulls yellow to white and meets the solo there, so they're together. And once you have this red camp cleared, you will move into mid, or you will go to solo, depending on what you think is the move. I would say most of the time you're going to be fighting over mid control, because leaving your mid there to die to a jungler is not that great unless you're 100% positive you can secure a kill in solo. If you go to solo and you just kind of waste time and don't secure a kill, it's not really worth it. versus splitting a couple waves here and then worrying about the neutral farm here. Now that is the most basic start. I will make an updated video if there are any updates to the starts, but this is what I would recommend for now. Now for rotations, they're going to be pretty simple. You're going to want to, depending on which speed buff is up, and I would try to intertime these. Now it is common to just have them both up at the same time and getting them farmed at the same time, because that relieves an idea that you have to be back if you're farming these at the same time. But I would try to get them on different paces so you can always have one. If you start on the right side, always worry about your tiki here, and I just explained those in the what's new kind of tab. You can click the time below if you want to reach that. Then I would always try to make sure you're on time for your solo's blue. If your solo's blue is being controlled by the enemy team, that's a really big detriment to you and your team. The mid laner should be able to secure the red pretty well, especially when this support starts rotating. Now I would worry about these neutral camps, and if you can never get an invade into the enemy's tiki, that would stop them from getting the XP for that, and it's a pretty decent amount of XP for the start. You get that invade XP as well. Also, the chests that spawn around, always be on the lookout for those. I think the first one always starts here on the left side, but I would be on the lookout for those. And then when you start on this left side, you always want to worry about this neutral camp here. It has chests for your team to get some gold. You can usually try to knock down the green if it's there for your support. Worry about this neutral farm here. Oracles are very important as it gets mid game, as you want to have control of vision on the gold fury. The gold camp here for your ADC as well, and controlling their purple. The purple is really nice because with the extra purple tiki, you can get another 20% attack speed as an ADC, so you want to secure that for your ADC. Now, throughout late game, things change. You'll be more grouped up, and you'll follow around the fire, pyro, keep those controlled. You want to keep wards deeper here. Now, usually you would think to ward here and here, and maybe that's good as a mid, but as a jungle, since you're already pretty deep, I would try to get your wards around here, maybe, and then you would want some wards maybe around here for your solos, so you can see when jungle's coming out, because usually jungle will go boom boom and then come through. Or you can maybe try to put one here so that they can see when the jungler's moving that way. But I think having a ward here and having a ward here is probably the best play for throughout the entire game, because that would allow for router rotation, support from green over to here, jungle from that way. Now your ADC should be trying to put some here, so they should catch someone moving that way. But these are just kind of thoughts I have and where I would put your wards. Now I think other people might make videos for those than I could, but this is just my thoughts for now. We're gonna hop into itemization and what you should buy for what builds. For an ability-based build, this is what I would recommend for a jungler. Pile's a pretty strong jungler right now, so this is what a lot of people are running. You either go Boomba Spear or Brewstone Brooch, kind of feeling what their combo looks like. If you're feeling you need to be pretty poke heavy and your start might be slower, I would definitely go Bluestone Brooch for the late game potential. Now, if you feel like you'll have a better early game and you can kind of control the map better, Boomba Spear is always a great option to get a big lead and to start securing those jungle camps quicker. I would probably try to start Jotuns as usual and build it into Jotun Zweigor. Now, if you want to kind of go for a more late game heavy build, you can always go Transcendence or Soul Eater, but with Serrated Edge and just rushing cooldown being so good, I don't think it's very needed. Bountiful Bow is what I would recommend. Sometimes you can do Party Punch just to try things out. I would definitely go into Hydras and Serrated. Those are kind of core items that you need for an ability-based jungler. For damage, you can always go Heartseeker, Crusher, something like that. And then for defensive, I would go Magi's Cloak, stop some of that CC every 70 seconds. And you can build that into Magi's Revenge if you don't need the lifesteal from Jotun Zweigor. Now for a attack speed / auto attack based build, I would definitely use this build. With Golden Gooseberries, you don't really need to go Golden Blading unless you're trying to cheese that double damage with like Bakasura or something like that, excuse me. Protector of the Jungle into Hasten Katanas that I like doing. So you immediately are able to stick onto people and auto them down. Golden Gooseberries, you get it stacked pretty quickly, especially with a god like Callie because she has that cleave in her kit. I would definitely go Keen Size and Executioner within every build. Keen Size gives you that percent based attack damage, as well as Executioner lowers the protections of the enemy you're fighting. I would definitely try to build that into the Ferocious Executioner. Now Dominance, Vital Amplifier, Odysseus, Silver Branch, these are kind of situational items. Dominance is pretty much the most common one you'll go into because it gives you an extra 15% physical penetration into your auto attacks. Vital Amplifier is very important on characters like Arachne and some other healers like Amaterasu. Odysseus Bell is a pretty common attack speed item because every 4 auto attacks you get some true damage, and as well as a chain of lightning. Silver Branch stacks up your power based on if you're overcapped on attack speed. Cap attack speed is 2.5, and you can see that in the bottom left when you get in your game or however your UI is set up. And you also get 20, unless they change it, it should be 15 or 10%. Actually, we can probably look. I think it's not going to show 10% penetration or 20%. Either way, I would still probably just run Dominance or Executioner over it, but it is a very situational item. But we're going to hop straight into some of the gods I would recommend in each category, and then we're going to hop straight into some gameplay. Now in these gods category, I'll kind of break down what each god is. Arachne, auto attack. Awilix, ability based. You can build her auto attack, but I would go ability based. Bakasura, auto attack god. Bastet, ability based. Camazotz, ability based. Cleo, ability based. Daji, I've seen some hybrid builds of her, but most of the time I would go ability based. Fenrir, he's kind of an interesting one. You can kind of go a crit build with him. You can also go ability based. His kit is kind of pretty hybrid, but he's very single target. Unbats, ability based. Kali, auto attack. Lancelot, ability based. Loki, ability. Mercury, auto attack / crit. Naja is ability based. Nemesis is pretty hybrid as well. Pule is usually ability based. I've seen some hybrid. Ratatusker is also a hybrid. You can build him crit because his acorn allows for it. Ravana is usually ability based. Serket is crit auto attack, sometimes ability based, so she's pretty hybrid. Set's ability, Susanna's ability. Thanatos is a pretty hybrid god. He's very unfair to a lot of people, but we'll dive more into him when we get to that video. Thor is ability based and Sukium is ability based. But we're gonna hop straight into some gameplay, and I'll kind of break down what my thoughts are. Win or lose, we're gonna post it. Be hopping straight into the gameplay here. We're going to be playing some Pele in the jungle. Now we're going to be doing a bluestone build as far as I can see. The comp looks pretty normal, so it's ours. I do have an Arachne, which is top meta right now, so I have to be careful of that. But we are going to be going bluestone with the Bountiful Bow, because we probably need some cooldowns here. We're going to be going into the Jotuns. We'll be going Blink as well as Wing Shards. If you want to see a little bit about those Wing Shards and the other shards, I do have a guide on that over on the channel. It would be just the season 10 guide, and we do have items and what to buy them guide as well. Now some of that is a few months ago, so the meta has shifted a bit, but a lot of the items still have a change. You're still building Blink usually on junglers, you're still building shards, and that's basically what that is. But we're going to be going into kind of what our thought process is and what we're thinking per move. I'm going to be doing a normal start here, and I'll be trying to talk over my gameplay. Now, excuse me if I do stutter or I do say a lot. I have not done this in a while. I keep off-putting things being full-time working, but I want to get these guides out there for you guys so you guys are updated and you stay in the know of what to do in the jungle, when to do it, etc. But we're going to be hopping straight into this. Do got my little Invader Zim on the ground. Now I do have the Avatar Pele. Well, she's not an avatar, but you know what I mean. From Avatar The Last Airbender. I have Azula, the skin on her, as well as Chandra from Magic the Gathering. But we're gonna be using a regular skin, which is, I think it was just like some blue recolor. Just for, cause why not? I would usually start with your 1 on Pele. Chop that down. Now with one of the jungle starters, you will get some health back on that, but we're playing kind of for a late game with bluestone. Not gonna pick up your red, right? Usually your mid laner will pick up the red buff. I kind of don't know what happened there. I don't know if he just forgot or what. I do feel like I'm having some weird stutters. I don't know if that's visual for you guys, but I definitely feel it on my side. I think that kind of levels out throughout the game. We don't get hit by that. Gotta keep this poke up. She's playing a bit more aggressive than I'd like to, but that's okay. We don't need to rotate back to our speed or anything. I don't want her to get punished for trying to get a kill. Stay clearing this up, and we can eat this. Can look for this Arachne. Can force her to leave, and we can worry about this farm. Take their Tiki farm. Usually you would not be getting this invade, but since she was a bit low already from soloing that camp, we had a little bit of space to do that. I'm just gonna make sure we at least secure the blue for Cerberus. I'm feeling these micro stutters, so I might have to restart this recording, but we'll cut straight back into when that's back online. Get that down for our solo laner. Tab in and tab out real quick. That could just be the issue. Don't really know what's happening there. She put them together. Definitely are still feeling the micro stutters. And we did get the red Tiki, so we had the lifesteal. She's still not picking up her blue buff, which is interesting. I mean, her red buff. Let's go ahead and farm this up. Keep our burn on that right one, auto this one down. And we may look to go right here. I do apologize for the bit of micro stutters if you guys are seeing them as well. I'm gonna try to secure this for them. Do secure that. Did force as a ult. She tried to ult for it, which is not really ever worth it when she has hers up. But just letting you guys know not to do that. We're gonna be rotating over towards this yellow camp here, and then we'll look for a gank in mid probably because Ra's half. We may honestly just walk out mid. Now there is a little bit of a blink you can do right here. Oh, she secured that herself, so she definitely did not need us. Just worried about some of this neutral farm. Did clear online. Look back towards this Tiki and this guy's blue. Like I said, you want to be on this blue on cooldown. You don't want your solo laner struggling for mana in a 1v1 situation while the other guy has their blue. That will one, cause your solo laner to be upset, and two, put them at a disadvantage. So we're just going to be helping with the blue. And there was a little chest on the right if you guys noticed that, so we're going to be picking that up. Bring it to this so we can split with all this. still having those stutters, which is very weird. I'm gonna restart the recording really quick. I'll be right back. Got her there. We heard the blink, and we blinked into that tower and made sure the back of our abilities came to hit her. So that was a pretty good read on us. We're just gonna take some of this neutral farm as we walk back towards mid. Rod does look like he's half. Do get a kill there. Look for some of that mid farm. No, oh, we do get that kill. We can look for Opwa. This guy does shred well. We'll just run away from that guy. He hurts. But we do get to read those mid kills and get 2 picks off of it. And we get to get this farm secured, which gives everyone the blue tiki. We will go for Hydras. We did force that left guy's ult, so we should keep that in mind and probably go over there and try to get him now. We do have speed from like 20 seconds, but I think we'll just try to wait on this right here. We are 2-0. We can go ahead and put it on the cooldown for now, just because it's not imperative that we have the lifesteal one, and getting 40% cooldown would be very nice for now. I do need to look around mid if they're trying to tower dive. We are still experiencing some micro stutters. I really don't know why that's happening. Could just be a weird OBS thing. We're gonna try to put these wards where we mentioned last time, kind of in these neutral locations. Put one up here. Now we did whiff our ult there, but it shouldn't matter. These micro stutters are kind of throwing me off, I'm not gonna lie. But we did secure that kill for him, and we can rotate back to this neutral farm. We can look for this Ra. He's gonna play up into our Morgan. It's a kill every time. Played a little too deep there, and we punished him for it. We just waited around that corner to watch him play out, and he threw his ult out, so we just walked in right after that happened. Gonna go ahead and buy health pot and 2 more wards. You don't have to do this every time, but it just kind of helps us keep that control of the map. We have those wards on those rotation spots. Izanami looks like she's losing her 1v1. Athena's over there to help. I should look to rotate over there as well. No, I didn't switch to Tiki there, and I probably should have. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. Athena probably kills her. Did read that rotation. Athena baited her to stay in lane, and we killed her. Do have these rotations online. There is a Yorm right here. Do secure that kill. I don't know what he's throwing his life away for a purple buff that's not even his for. But we punished him for it. Probably build into that serrated next. Keep these. Now we see we have our yellows on timings. This one's about halfway done when this one comes up. And we get to rotate on those timings and basically always have a yellow buff. Now, never do what that Yorm just did. There was really no reason for him to fight there. I think he thought he was going to get out, but him being in a horrible position, he really just got punished. Do get that kill. Shouldn't die for this. We're alive. So that's a pretty big gank. Now it looks like our homie did down right. That does suck. You ever see somebody tower lining like that, make sure you're over there to punish them. Just by one ward this time, since we just placed ours on the left. You can just get a beads now. Make sure this Izzy doesn't push down further. Did lose Stigi in there, that mid farm. Didn't really have to ult her, but she could have ulted me down. Didn't want a chance of that. I'm gonna play around this Athena's bait for Arachne. She is looking for her. Ah, it's just so perfect. I cannot type that right. But that bait was perfect by... Oh! We won't ever die to this guy. We're just gonna run away from him. Yeah. Yeah, we won't ever die to that guy. There's nobody to rotate over here. Just saving for our sorted here, so we'll just buy another health bot. Get our right side speed buff. Do have pretty good control of the map right now. We will definitely put this one on the cooldown, so we can just stay at 40% cooldown. Now 40% is max cooldown, if you didn't know. Now that we have this, we'll probably try to pick up this green tiki. Maybe we secure kill for Izanami. Let's just start recharging our fuel. Should be a kill every day of the week. She's getting repeatedly caught out of position. We'll place this neutral ward here. If you ever see someone playing up like that and you're in the area, definitely look to secure that kill. Izanami should be fine. We can probably rotate over to this left fight. Our ult is only on a 20-second cooldown. Save our fuel here for a second. Help our Serb out. She's one and she gets out. That's too bad. It's not the end of the world. They did get a shutdown on us, but it was kind of a weird fight for me to go into, to be honest, without an ult. I would have shredded with an ult, but I wanted to see if I could secure one of those kills. I don't really have the damage on Arachne to just shove her down yet. But like I said, that's not the end of the world. Worst thing you can do in that situation is get upset, get mad at somebody. Now with their team comp, Beat Stick is probably the play here. Heartseeker is nice, but I think we need some anti-heal. So we're going to be going into a Brawler's Beat Stick. And we'll just keep playing on those rotations. Now she did throw life away for a tier 1. Don't ever do that. Don't throw your life away for a buff. Don't throw your life away for a tier 1, because you're more than likely to get the buff and just die for it, so it doesn't even matter. We are feeling those little stutters again. I don't know why that's happening. I'm sorry if that's hard to watch, it's hard to play with. We're going to get our full speed here, double clicking our 3. Do see Athena pretty deep. Do get both of those kills. Ah, I couldn't get away from her. That is quite unfortunate, but we do get those 2 kills before we die. It's not the end of the world. That is unfortunate, but like I said, it is not the end of the world. We should have a free escape here. Oh, never mind, he's dead. That's unfortunate. No, we are definitely not going to surrender this. We're definitely doing fine. Zanami's kind of got a late game build here. She didn't stack anything, which is interesting. She's really easy to stack things with. That's just how that's going. Gonna be moving into our right lane here. Getting this speed buff. Now we'll probably honestly switch and do the penetration form. Is Apua going defense? Yes, so I definitely think we want to go defense. You just auto that Tiki to do that. We need to look for this right fight. Zanami's just kind of dead. We should give up Gold Fury 100% here. Doesn't benefit. Now I've got a peel. She's just kind of dead. Keep this damage poked around. We should have given up gold. It's gonna poke us pretty hard. Not the end of the world. We'll just go back to Phoenix. Now, because we didn't give up gold there, we're gonna lose Fire Giant, which is even worse. Gold Fury is not worth losing Fire Giant or anything for, because you can just secure gold later on and match the gold, or secure a shutdown. We're gonna lose fire now, which is unfortunate, but that noise right there is the sound cue for losing Fire Giant. But we're gonna look for some of this neutral farm if it hasn't been pushed in. I don't hear footsteps if they're walking down. I agree that we can't group. Our Izanami's been called out by herself a few times. The servers really hadn't been there. It's kind of also AFK. We're gonna start to be targeted pretty hard. Looks like these stutters are like every second, which is weird. I don't know if that's showing up for you guys. I'm sure it is. But like I said, that never happens in my other videos and streams. Kind of weird it is right now. Looks like they have a ward on this side of the map and they're running over fast. She should get out here for free. Looks like our Cerberus is AFKing, which is quite unfortunate. It's like they're looking around that jungle for us. It's like this is a 45, but either way, I think I kind of got to post out what I like to. There is an Amazonami like right here. Now, we probably want to beads out of this. We should have the speed to get out. Fortunately, we do. We did get a pick and we get to get out of there. And our team does surrender, which is pretty unfortunate. But overall, I think I got to talk about what I wanted to. So I'll go ahead and post this so it's not too long. But it is what it is. GG's anyways, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.